Okay, the most important thing to garfish fishing is burley. Now what I use is just breadcrumbs. I use old stale bread at home and just blend it up, dry it out first and just blitz it. And you want, I don't know, a third of a bucket, a quarter of a bucket breadcrumbs, and then moist sand. So you probably want 2/3 sand, 1/3 breadcrumb. So put that in there. Doesn't matter if it's a bit wet. You want to get a good consistency that you can actually create little balls and throw it out to attract the fish. And now we want some, this is just some tuna oil. Not too much, this stuff's pretty strong. Maybe a couple tablespoons. Oh, I'll go a little bit more. There you go. A bit more sand, and you mix it all up. And you can see you've got a mixture of sand and breadcrumbs. You don't want to overfeed the fish, you just want to attract them to your area. Little balls, and you just lob that out over your float. And that should bring them in. So breadcrumbs, wet sand, and tuna oil. That's all it is. Okay, first thing I like to do when I get to my spot, before I cast in, is just throw a couple handfuls of burley. Get that burley working while I set up. Now the bait I'm using is just dough. All this is just flour and water and a little bit of that tuna oil. Not too much, just a tiny bit. And you just want to get a nice dough consistency. It's so cheap to make. You make this at home, you can freeze it in advance if you want and keep it. And that's what we'll use for bait, so we'll keep that next to our burley. Okay, so this is our rig. We're using a little quill float, a little swivel, a couple of split shots, and 2 tiny little hooks. I think it's like a size 10 or size 12, and garfish have got tiny mouths, so you don't need a big hook and you don't need a big bait. So what you do with your dough is just get a tiny little piece, just enough to cover the hook. Your bait should be about the same size, let's say a pea. Now I'm using 6-pound line. I couldn't find my 4-pound line. I prefer to use 4-pound line, but 6 will do. The water's a bit murky after some rain, so I'm hoping that'll be okay. And as far as the rig, nothing too fancy. This is a really old cheap reel, and our rod is 8'6". It's really whippy. It's a fiberglass rod, really light rod, but you need a nice long flexible rod, which really helps with float fishing. We'll cast that out and hopefully there's a few around, but it'll take a couple minutes until that burley starts working. Oh, there goes that float. Something's on that. See that float's risen? I reckon we've got a fish. Yep, we got one here, tiny little guy. That didn't take long at all. That was the first cast, maybe a minute, and it's a nice little garfish. Look at that. Now we're going to keep a few of these for a feed. They're really good eating and they're great bait. So any of the big ones are going to go, any of the big ones we're going to fill it up, and the small ones will get frozen full of snapper bait. Good start. They're here already. So most important thing is keep that burley up. There's another handful there. Now that was a strange bite. Normally you'd expect the float to go under, and it didn't. It actually just rose to the surface and laid flat on the surface. That's because the fish has picked it up and he's actually come up rather than going down. All right, have another cast. Now I can see the fish, they're here already. I've only thrown a couple handfuls of burley and they've already come around, so be in for a good day here. Oh, that float's gone straight under and I've lost him. Right, okay. Oop, here goes. Oh, we're on. It's not a garfish. It's a big one if it is. Oh! Did he bust me off? Has a big brim. Bust me off. What am I doing? It's terrible weather. Raining the whole time. The wind's picked up. Probably should be home, learning how to tie knots, then fishing for these little garfish, but we're out here now. We'll make the most of it. Hopefully this blows over and yeah, we can get a few, but it's definitely quieting down. We got a couple straight up. Oh, there's a bite. I think that's a bite. Yeah, I'm going to strike, and we got one. Look at that, there's a heap of them there. All right, we got one. Not a bad size, actually. Oh, we'll go this way so we don't get rain all over the camera. Here we go. Biggest one so far today. Not a bad one. Beautiful little garfish. Look at that. It's right in the corner of the mouth. And you'll get some really nice tasty fillets off him. Alright, let's see how long he takes. Floats in the water. Oh, bite straight away. They're actually hitting the float. I reckon they're hitting the split shots. Oh, yep, that float's going. Got him. Didn't take long at all. Beautiful, another nice garfish. Look at that. They're definitely on fire at the moment. Alright, cast it out there. Shouldn't take too long. Down, got him. That's going to be the quickest one yet. When they're biting like this, you've got to be quick, because mine only lasts for about 10-15 minutes and then they'll shut off. Another predator, a big tailer or something, will come through and scare them off. So while they're on fire, yeah, try and catch as many as you can. Look at that, I've got a bite straight away. Yep, that float's moving. Yep. Oh, missed him. You can use a lot of other baits too. You don't have to use dough. You can use pilled prawn, a bit of squid. Maggots are really popular down south in Victoria. But up here, I don't know, for whatever reason, I find that dough seems to work the best. Got another one. I reckon I've caught, what, like 5 in 5 minutes? That's a good size too. I reckon I'll catch a couple more and that'll do me, I think. We don't have to catch them 100 garfish, like enough for a feed for me and the family tonight. A couple for bait and that'll do us. We don't need to fill the freezer. Here he goes. Got him. If these guys got to a couple of kilos, I'll tell you what, they'd be one of the greatest sports fish going around. The fact they're so small, you can just yank them in. Ouch. There we go. Bite straight away. Fish on. How quick's that? That was like, what was that? A couple seconds, like 4 seconds. There you go, we did all right in the end. I was a bit worried there in the first hour. It was very slow going, but then for about half an hour there, they were just firing. We got most of these fish, and I reckon in that last half hour. we left them biting. But yeah, just clean them up now and then take them home. At least they're scaled, and I'll just do the filleting at home. Don't know what we got. I think I counted 16. Not sure what the bag limit is. It's definitely over 20, or maybe at 20. These guys are really easy to scale. The scales come off pretty easy. You don't want to be skinning them. They're pretty fragile fillets once you fillet them. So taking the scales off now just makes it a lot easier when you're taking them home. Well, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and please remember to subscribe, and I'll hopefully catch you on the next video, which won't be too far away. Thanks for watching.